One of the things I wanted to do today in terms of my Viz tool, visual thinking tools and exercises to help you get unstuck, I want to share with you how to align your teams. This is a highly effective approach. It's a 4-step process I'm going to walk you through to align teams and accelerate your goals and endeavors. In many cases, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years ahead of schedule by following this process. I've used it with corporations, individuals, and organizations for the past 20 plus years. I'm going to share it with you right now. Here you go. I call it the business game plan. And Amy, if we can go over to my vision board. The first step in this process is to understand, and this is working with a team. So this is not an individual exercise like a couple of the different exercises I've shared in the past. This one is definitely a group exercise. You want to do it with a team, people you're working with. You want those people to be decision makers, people who are involved in moving your endeavor forward. It creates shared vision and collective action. So you want to have those people in the room who are going to help move your endeavor forward. First step, where are we? This one is important, right? Where are we? You're going to want to, of course, I use a mind map on this, and excuse me. And when you're looking at where we are, this is important. A lot of people want to overlook this particular exercise or this particular step in the process. Why do we have to look at where we are? Let's focus on where we're going. Where we are is a snapshot of what is holding you back, those things that are working. It gives you an idea of what's the current reality. And as I like to say, it's the good, the bad, and the ugly you're looking for, all of it. So you have to be really honest with yourself. Your team has to be honest. So you're looking for processes you're using, all right? What processes? How are those working? Who's on your team? How's that working? Do you have enough time to do what you want to do? Time. How's your revenue flow? All of this is facing reality. The good, the bad, the ugly. So where are we? This takes between 20 to 30 minutes, this step, step 1. Step 2, this is easier. Where do we want to go? Where do we want to go? Now, don't look past 3 years. This is 5 years at the very most. This is not a long term. This is when you're sleeping, just going to bed, driving in your car, you're in the shower, bright ideas appear. What you want to do is write down, where do we want to go? This is where we see ourselves as a team, and where do we want to reach our goals? And so you're going to talk about your ideal visions. You're going to talk about where do we see with revenue? Where do we see with respect to how we're recognized in the marketplace? What kind of people do we want to work with? What kind of culture do we want to create? How are people talking about our business and activities? These are all important questions. Capture them all. Capture all your ideas on where you want to go from everybody. You can put this on a flip chart. This is, again, about 25, 30-minute process here. You want to do all 4 steps at the same time, all 4 steps simultaneously. Next step, it just got harder. How do we get there? How do we get there? In other words, how do we get to where we want to go? How do we get to where we want to go? Now, generally speaking, when I work with teams and I'm facilitating and graphically facilitating teams on these in this particular exercise, it relates to behavior, mindsets, actions that they need to take to behave differently than they are currently to adjust, to take advantage of the opportunities they have, but also overcome some of the challenges they have. And that might be means they have to hire more people, review their processes, focus on certain customers that can increase revenue, whatever it may be. Or it may be that the CEO, and many times this is the case, needs to get out of the way. The CEO is micromanaging. The CEO is involved in too many things, is not delegating properly, and So again, it's behavior changes, and many times it ties back to the CEO. So how do we get to where we want to go, and how do we get there? The final step, and we've gone over this step before, is the action plan. And the secret to getting things done faster and more effectively is thinking in 1 week, 1 month, 6 month time frames. Again, 1 week, what are you going to do in 1 week? That's daily. 1 month, and then 6 months. I draw timelines just like this. And what you want to make sure you do is pick the top 3. Remember, if you're moving past 3 major action items, which may mean improving your processes, it might mean building your team, and it might mean a new sales strategy. That is a lot of activity taking place right there for a team that's already in motion and doing other activities. So try to reduce it to as few as possible and think in 1 week, 1 month, 6 month time frames. Again, those never end. They keep going. It's just you're working in smaller chunks that get you where you want to go. This is the business game plan, and I'm going to run through it real quick one more time. Four-step process, approximately 20 to 30 minutes per step. Do it all at once. Where are we? The good, the bad, the ugly. Get it all out. Have a team there. Don't let them cover anything up. It's really important to understand the true reality of your current situation. And then the easy part, where do we want to go? Don't look out past 5 years. Focus on all the visions you have of what you want to create, the fantasies, the dreams, the goals, the objectives. Then it just got harder. How do we get to where we want to go? These are usually behavior things, process improvement, team growth, adding new members, leadership behavior changes occur in here quite a bit, almost always. And then finally, the last step is picking those items which are the most important and can move you the fastest and farthest to three major action areas. I made these up in this case: process improvement, sales increasing, and building on the team. The key here is to work in 1 week, 1 month, and 6 month time frames. I wish you luck.